Welcome to Colorful Conversations, where we flow freely, speak boldly, and connect colorfully. I am you, Keisha, and this is.
Takesha.
She ain't singing it today.
Nah, just Keisha. Welcome to our girl chat.
welcome to Welcome to our girl chat. It really do be girl chat because I we haven't chatted in a couple of days, and part of the reason we haven't chatted in a couple of days is not. This is part of the reason because I had a lot of stuff going on recently, and I know you had a lot of stuff going on. And I ain't want to pile my stuff on your stuff. And I was like, yeah, Keisha, just deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, you just deal with it. So I was like, I'm just gonna deal with it, and that's what I do. I guess that's why I think last week when we were talking, I don't know if we said it on camera or not, but we were talking about that's why I guess community is important for a lot of people because when you going through, even if it's small or big, whatever, it can help. But I don't feel like I um, want the same type of community I've had. I need something different, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
It makes so I when I go through my little stuff and I'm like, I need because I don't want the same type of talks that I've had with community before. So yeah, girl, I was going through a little, just little stressful stuff, but all is well.
That's good.
On the way here, you was napping.
I'm extremely tired.
Yeah,
I'm extremely
I could
tired.
hear it in your
I
voice
haven't
too.
been this tired in a very long time. It's like I cannot get enough rest
Really, you've been napping every day.
every day. I've been sleeping. Like I work and sleep.
Really,
That's it. No in between.
but you sleep better during the day rather than at night, though.
Hmm.
You could sleep for hours during the day.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
The day is the best sleep ever. But like I said, I really think that it's a psychological thing. I think because the world is busy and everything is going on, that I feel safer than I do at night when it's quiet, and that's when the
Hmm.
the evilness arises.
So you awoke. You
So
wait. I
I'm
see you awoke. You awake.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm up and I'm more alert
Hmm.
than when I am during the day. During the day I can be dead sleep and not even know what's going on. But at night, like a little creak, I'm gonna be like,
Really?
mm-hmm.
I never thought about that when you said you don't really sleep at night that well. So when you get ready to go to, do you,
So-called bed.
well, bed? Well, I'll say this: when you get ready to wake up for work, does that when it seems like you kind of fall asleep when it's time to get
Oh
up?
yeah, I'm super tired then. That's why a lot of times, like a part of my routine, would be like when I wake up early enough before work, I do a little bit of whatever that may be for me, like even if it's just reading a little, praying, whatever. And then I lay back down to make it seem like I've had a nap before I
Really?
start work. Yeah. I think I might have said that on here before. Like I need a nap before work. Like I just can't get up and
Just start
start my
working.
day.
That
Hmm.
that's yeah,
And then
that's
I
funny.
set alarms, but I don't get up by the alarms at all. I think recently I think I even started setting them because I'm like, I don't want nobody telling me what time to get up.
I get it. I get it. I
I don't
get it.
want corporate America to dictate my rest. So if
Hmm.
I'm tired, sorry.
Yeah, I get it. Girl, yesterday was funny. You saying you don't want corporate America to dictate your rest. Yesterday, I observed Sabbath. It was my day of rest, and I'm trying to get better as far as just resting, right? So I try to stay off the phone or whatever. But later in the evening, I did speak to a friend of mine, and my daughter got her license, so she had my car and went to school. So she asked me, "So she had your car? So you just sat at home and did nothing all day?" I was like, "I was resting." Like, it's hard for people to comprehend sometimes that you could actually just do nothing all day, or you should have a day where you do nothing.
Listen, my life is do nothing all day. Okay? If I did not have to go to an employer, that would literally be, what's your occupation? Do nothing.
Do nothing. Look, I was like, I was resting. Like, I think that even if you take a day off, people are so used to running their errands on their day off, or doing this or doing that.
America is very fast paced.
It is.
With everything. It's very hustle and bustle. I got something to do. I need to run here. I need to go here. Even if it's just you realize you missing one thing. Oh, let me run to the store real quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going on 2 years now without a car. So my do nothing is do nothing. Okay. I am in the house straight chilling.
And
I might not even turn the TV on. Recently, especially from the episode when I was talking about like I wanted some balance, which your sister said it was normalcy. And I was just like, she's right. That's what it is. I want to be normal, not balanced, just normal.
Yeah.
So my normal has just been in silence, no TV, nothing. I might turn on my little fake little happily ever after Hallmark rom-com movie. But other than that, because that's the only thing that really doesn't trigger my brain to go deep diving. Yeah. But I am the queen of relaxation.
Yeah.
Rest.
I think that people need to understand that it's okay to do nothing. It's okay to have a day where you just rest and do absolutely nothing. And me sending her with my car was going to help me do nothing. And I literally was just like, and today I feel better. Even after I said a few minutes ago, I had like so much going on and a lot going on. I felt better after having my day of rest where I absolutely was, doing nothing. So I think it's important in this hustle and bustle to understand that it's okay to not get, not feel like, I think that if a person, if they're not busy, they feel like they're not accomplishing or they're not being productive.
I believe some of us were raised that way.
Were you?
Yeah, it was, like you need to be doing something. You need to be cleaning. I remember it would be like, if you're sleeping in, are you pregnant? Like,
yeah. I think that was in our family too.
Yeah, so
I think that was in our family too.
I think that it's just ingrained in us to feel like we have to do something because we were trained, and I'm using that word, reading between the lines, that if you're not working, you know what I'm saying? Like it resulted in some laziness or something because we were conditioned to always be in the field.
Yeah, doing something. Yeah, that makes sense because I think my mother was that way. She when she was at home, she would sit for a while and maybe watch her little stories. But I think she was up cleaning something. Because I was just like,
they were always cleaning something, always wiping something down. Like if you come to my house, you might see dust. But back in the day, you never, like that was never happening. Like I remember, like all y'all did was clean. Like y'all worked jobs, and took care of kids, and then was still wiping down stuff all day long. You doing too much. Okay. I'm resting for all of the mothers before me. Okay. Every last one of y'all. Can't go to sleep with, the dishes in the sink. Like if it's an emergency and somebody got to walk through the house, I'm 49. I still ain't had that experience. Thank God.
Oh my God. You're right.
Thank God I haven't had that, but it's just like, for real.
Yeah. Some people be so tired. And I'll say this. A lot of married women or women in relationships that live with somebody and they do a lot and they feel like they got to upkeep that, that persona of I got to make sure this house stay clean, or I got to make sure this no dishes in the sink. We go to bed, and then by the time you go to bed, and you like too tired to give attention to who you're with.
Listen, this is why I'll be ready to hang from the ceilings because I'm not doing none of that all day long. So if you want the pole in the bedroom,
why did you say you'll be ready to hang from the ceiling?
I'll be able to do acrobats because I ain't cooking and cleaning all day, sir.
Listen, I remember being so tired. I remember being tired, probably too because of the mindset of me seeing my mother constantly do something, but she did not work outside of the house. I did. So I was always doing something, picking up kids, coming back and forth and all that. And, you're already not in a happy situation. So by the time, and when you're not in a happy situation, you feel heavy.
You drained. Yeah.
You're drained. Mm-hmm. You're drained even if you haven't done a whole lot. You're drained. So I remember being tired and feeling worn out. And I could say this because this is my story and it is true. I remember asking for help. Did I say this before? No, I don't think I did. I remember I asked my husband at the time for some help because I was tired. I think my son was 2 and my daughter was like a baby. And I was working out in Nova, and I was just like getting off at 7:45 at night or something like that. And I was like, I'm so tired. I was like, can you help me? Can you do this? And he looked at me and was like, why do you need help? My mother had 4 kids, and she ain't never had no help. She did it by her, and I was just like, oh. And after that, I never asked for help again. And in my mind, I always felt like I had to do it by myself. And never again will I do that. Ever.
And sadly, that's the example that we grew up with. Plenty of us.
Yeah. It's the example that we grew up with, but
and it's not right. Like that type of response is wow. Like wow. And then imagine like going to the job that you hate, that you're exhausted from that.
And that job I hate. I absolutely
so let alone when your home dynamics are exhausting, but your outside world, is exhausting as well. But you still have to show up for your children.
You gotta show
mothers, or parents, because there's some fathers that play that role.
Mm-hmm.
That we endure a lot. Sometimes we endure a lot, but people owe it to themselves to rest. It doesn't have to be looking forward to a vacation.
Yeah.
That one good vacation a year, because some people only get one.
They get one, and I don't believe, because I know people who don't take their days off. They look at used to be that person. They look at it like you're such a good person because you got so many vacations. You don't take. I'm like, if you don't take that time off for yourself and rest and do what you need to do for your body, for your mind, because these folks don't care. If you don't care about you the way you should care, and now that I single parent, it's still this is part of what I feel like I was kind of going through the last couple of weeks, because I still feel the pressure a lot of times of doing it alone when I should have better help. You know what I'm saying? I realize that I have done a lot. I've picked every organization. I've driven back and forth so many times. And when I ask for help, I don't feel like it should be an argument, or not even an argument, a back and forth or whatever, because I know you and I are similar. Your son is an adult now, but when something happened with our kid, I don't care where I'm at. I'm gonna drop what I'm doing, and I'm
gonna stop this. Like right now, I gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta go. Period. I gotta be there. And I will sometimes, if I'm at work, if I got a client, I've had to stop what I'm doing no matter what, and I thank and praise God for the flexibility that He's given me. because I know he foresaw all of this, that he's given me the flexibility to be able to do it, but I still get tired. I still get like,
because we're not machines.
Yeah.
We're humans. We are not built to do all of the things that we have to do. You know, I remember living maybe like 45 minutes from Jordan's school and taking lunch breaks, picking him up or bringing him back to work with me at times. That's the one thing I can say. I've always worked in corporate America, but I've always been at jobs where they've really been some flexibility with me, where it's just like, okay, well, if he didn't have to come back in the office with me, sit in the conference room, whatever.
He's done that.
I've had experiences like that where I didn't have anybody. My dad played a big role with picking him up over the years, but there was times where it was just like it was on me and nothing else. So I had to bring him back to work with me.
Life ain't supposed to be like that. It's not supposed to be that, but I'm
and in the midst of it, it's like you're saying right now, it's just like I'm just grateful that I was able to do it to make it through.
Yeah.
I never forget one day, and this was at the point where I didn't tagged on and we didn't got the dog now. So now I'm going home on my break because I'm training a dog. Like people don't even think about these types of things when you add that into your family. So now I'm training a dog. So I'm coming home on my break. On the way home, it was a super bad accident. Well, not on the way home, but on the way back to work. It was a bad accident. I think I sat on the freeway for like 2.5 hours.
So you was late.
So I had to get back to work. I had to pack up all of my files and work them at home that night, and then get back to work the next morning to put them in the system, because we still had paper files then, and this wasn't where you was, working remote, because I had started working from home prior to the pandemic, and I don't even know if you know that, why I was able to work from home.
No, I don't
think
I knew that.
That's when I was working in Ann Arbor, which is well over an hour from my house.
Yes, it is.
And I was having issues with Jordan getting back and forth from school, and he hadn't got his license yet. My dad was taking care of my uncle. He had cancer, I believe. So I had put in and told them it was just like I was going to have to quit.
Is that when you started?
That's when I started. And she was just like, well, let's see if you can work from home. Like, let me work that out. And that's how I ended up working from home.
Wow, I never knew that.
And that's something else, just to think of how extreme that was. Like, I got to quit my job so I can figure this out, where you need the job for your income.
Yeah. I never knew that. I think that because it wasn't, remote positions weren't even popular back then. But I don't know if I thought you applied and just was able to get a remote job.
I went to them and told them, and me and my manager at the time had a really good rapport, and she went up to upper management and they allowed me to work from home.
Wow. God been moving for a long time. Yeah. He's been moving for a long time. I never knew that. But even in all of that, this is not the way it's supposed to be. It's not the way it's supposed to be. We endure and we make it happen, but this is not the norm. We've made it, society has made it the norm.
Yeah, society has made it the norm, because unfortunately we don't think out the choices that we make.
Yeah. And
I was talking to a good friend yesterday, and it was so funny because she was just like, and just think, all you said was, I wanted a baby. I said, exactly. I said, that was literally it. Just that little sentence, and it changed the entire trajectory of my whole life, even now, where next month he's going to be 30.
I can't believe he's going to be 30. I literally remember when he was born. Wow.
So it's just...
when you said that you wanted a baby, would it have been with whoever you was involved with at that time, or did you choose that father?
My sad truth, if it just would have been like,
Whoever you were
yeah,
with because you
we
wanted a
I
baby.
wanted a baby. Like I said, that was the choice where I did not think about his genes, how smart he was, like, and I'm not even trying to be funny when I
Yeah,
say
yeah, I
that.
get it. Oh, I get it.
You
I
know
get it.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I get it.
Like genetics and all that. I didn't think about any of that. I was
I
thinking
don't
like
think.
I'm
First of all,
dating, and
I don't think that
anybody
anybody
really thinks
think about
about
that.
that
I
type of
mean,
stuff. Whereas now,
people probably do, but back then, no, no,
mm-mm,
no.
mm-mm. And there's
Mm-mm.
so many, and I just be looking like now, and this is just my opinion. Like sometimes I am sad when I see young girls and I log on Facebook and people are like, oh, my daughter's pregnant. I'm getting ready to be a grandma.
Yeah.
And I just think about
You think back?
yeah, I think back, but I also think about future.
Yeah, because they don't
Because I
know
just
what's
be
coming.
like, did you vet this dude?
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Is it just a boyfriend? What is the
yeah,
long term for this child that you
yeah.
bringing into this world? And then I think now, like when I first had Jordan, I worked at a daycare center, so I didn't have to worry about paying daycare. It's so many things now that I'm like, when people just pop up pregnant, and not saying that everybody pop up unplanned, but I just think of it totally different than when I said I just wanted a
I
baby.
can agree. I can agree. I absolutely can agree to that because I don't. When I think back, because I do a lot of thinking back now on choices I've made from when I first started dating, and I really don't think that I've ever fully vetted anyone until I got my relationship right with God, and that was within the last 2-3 years.
Yeah, I ain't had a chance to vet nobody. Now, like, I'm waiting for somebody to
Yeah,
come through for me to be like,
but
with the
that's
clipboard.
see, but that's why when I've gotten asked out on dates now, it don't happen because my vetting now is, and not like it's all super deep, but I wasn't, inclined to ask some of the most simplest questions back in the day.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
it is,
Like you said, it was just like they went to church. So
yeah,
boom.
yeah,
Whereas I'm like, I don't even know, was y'all worshiping Satan?
yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah, like my, and I think I had this conversation with my sister yesterday or today. I don't know when it was, but um I hate for my little cousins who's coming up now that's in the church to be told or taught the same way we were, that he's a good man if he go to church, or if he hooping and hollering for you, or he this or he, and I'm like sorry sis, that's not it. And I got cousins that's like aunties, so they really raised like right up there under what my mother and aunts was. And that thought process make you not vet a guy properly when you start dating. And I just hope, pray and hope, because times are different now, and now you have social media where people can hear things outside of what's in the house,
Mm-hmm.
so they can properly vet, men and women can properly vet people who they gonna be in a relationship with or go out with or spend their time with, because Lord knows I did not.
I just want us to think through on our life choices and
Yeah.
not be in that lustful moment or
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is, because I wanted a son out of a place of love.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas now I know, then I was this 18-year-old girl, so it was totally different. But it's just like now I know that whatever I was looking for, I should have been looking for it within versus
Yes,
without.
yes, that part, because, and I try it, and that's why I try and work with my kids now on that. And my daughter has way better boundaries than I had when I was 16, and thought processes as far as friends or boyfriends or whatever, um, and knowing how to vet or what's best for you or whatever. I think now that's my job is to help her, you know, help my son too, because I made terrible choices. And not that people was terrible people, I made terrible choices because if I had loved myself or truly been who I am authentically or learned earlier, then I never would have made some of the choices I made. Ever. Ever. Plus, I was listening to, you know, the people of the church tell me, you know, this, you know, if the first question was always, do he go to church? Do he go to church? Do he go to church? And I was just like always think, well, he gotta go to church. Or if he was a guy that didn't go to church, then I can't talk to him, or I got sneak and talk to him because he don't go to church. Cause he might have been a good guy. He just probably didn't wasn't his parents probably didn't take him, but I probably missed opportunities. And actually it is one person, and we still cool to this day, that I you know him too. I think I was probably 14 when I really met him and we started dating. Was the most nicest guy. Didn't have a church relationship. His mother was a single mother. And um he just did you see what I said?
Mm-hmm.
But respect wise, how the respect he had for me, the um the care that he had even at a young age. I think I was 14,
And all
15.
this time, I always thought that he was a church boy.
I took him to church.
I never knew that until this moment. Wow.
No, he lived down the street. I took him
Hmm.
to church. And what's crazy is we broke up because I was like, I'm about to break up with him and get with this church dude who was a preacher. And guess where he at now? In prison. And guess where the other one at? Got a great job. He has a great family. I'm so happy for him. You know, just upstanding dude. And I just hate that, and I don't regret it because I feel like
Right, right.
it's a life lesson now
Yeah, yeah.
that I'm able to remember and think back and tell somebody else, like, think about the character of a person, because I'm the one who introduced him to church. He just lived down the street and we was easy for, you know. I think my cousin introduced us. They were real good friends, and after that he started going with us, and then as an adult now he takes his family.
That's
So
what's up.
yeah, you thought he was a church dude?
Hmm.
No.
He was always so nice and respectable.
And guess what? I think he watched this podcast. Hey, he gonna know I'm talking about him. He gonna be like, yeah, she talking about. But
Mhm.
yeah, I even now though, just real nice. Never ever. I ain't never heard nothing bad about this man ever. Um, and I think that that's the thing that we need to teach the next generation of these girls who we see that get pregnant, and you hope that they vet it, you know. And not saying that the father or the mother, whoever is, because we see some fathers who take care of them kids and the mama be gone.
Mhm.
They better vet better too, because just because she a good cute girl don't mean she gonna be a good mama at all. So I hope and pray, like when I think back on my choices, like if he blessed me with somebody else, I'll accept it, but it's going to be different. Very, very different. Very, very different. So, yeah. Better different. Not like I'm about to be hard on somebody different. No. But I know who I am now. When you know who you are, you just make better choices for yourself. So, yeah. You know, that's all I got.
Yeah, I know who I am now too.
You
Hmm.
know who you are now?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't I think all of my little flings that I had is just I don't regret because I love my baby more than anything in this world. I just wish that he had this version of me.
When you were
When
when you
yes, versus us pretty much having to grow up together.
yeah.
I wish he had this version of me then instead of now. Like they say, it's never too late or whatever.
Do
But
you feel like it's too late?
sometimes some things I do feel like it's too late. You know, there may be situations that arise, you know what I'm saying, where I can be like, oh, okay, but some things I do feel like is some things I'm trying to say, the time it matters and you can't get that back. So I don't believe that oh, it's not too late, it's never too late. Yeah, it's too late. You know, it's some of that is just what it is, and that is a part of me having to accept certain things now, accepting that, you know, it's too late. And how we talked about, I think it was last week with Tracy Ellis, when you said her grieving, it's me grieving being able to be a better mom for him. Because I was good, you know, as best I could be for that age, but the wisdom that I have now, I could only imagine how I could help him as a Black man in America.
Yeah.
And the relationship that me and his father now have later in life that we didn't have before.
That's what I was going to say to you too.
All of that makes it makes a difference. And sometimes when you raise someone, you know, and even us, like there's certain things where you get to a point where your parents can't tell you anything. And then you get to a point where you begging them to tell you stuff all over again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure you could relate to now, like we would just to get 5 minutes with our mom. I wouldn't even know what I would want to ask her because it would be so much that I would be like, I don't even know how I would use that 5 minutes wisely if I had it again. Whereas years ago, I remember when I first had my son, I was just like, you don't tell me nothing.
Yeah. I
this
get
is
it.
my son. Don't tell me. And she didn't.
She
respected
that's
it.
really funny that not funny, but that she backed up, because my mother was, I think, opposite. Like if she tried to tell us something and we'd be like, it's my child, she'd be like, I'm letting you know.
My mom was just like,
you know.
Okay, but I think that Jordan is one area of my life where I am probably will go psycho. So it's probably in that other person's best interest, where I might have forgot my mama was my mama, as much as I get up here and be like, I love her and all of that.
You would have let her have
I'm
it.
just like, I get crazy when it comes to him. I get crazy.
You know, going back to what you said about you and his father, though, and how we said the choices that we made with people that we were involved with, like the only God knew the relationship that, and I'm using relationship loosely.
Yes.
the relationship the dynamics you all have now, I couldn't have ever foresaw, you know, how you all, you know, can come together and have a conversation. And 30 years.
Me either.
I mean,
me either. When I look at this version of me in general, I'm like, who are you? Because back then, no one could ever like, I'm never talking to that again.
Yeah. So,
and that would have been believable.
Absolutely. I would have never, ever. So I pray for that dynamic with my kid's father and I. Not that we don't, because we do have a conversation here or there if we need to, but you know, there is still, I think, I don't know if the word is an animosity or whatever, and it could be on both parts. I won't just say on his. I would like to believe that I don't have any animosity, because I'm really, really like over all situations. But I think the animosity come when it comes to my children. Not anything he did to me. I don't want my children to be disappointed in either of us.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? I want them to look at their parents, mother and father, and be, happy with everything surrounding their parents. Now, I do think that they're happy that we are okay with each other, but when it goes deeper, I don't want it to be where I say, "Hey, call your dad and ask him this," and they'll be like, "Well, no, no, call because he's gonna say no." I don't want, or vice versa, where he may say, "Call your mom and say," or ask her this, and they think, I want them to feel completely free, knowing that we have a great dynamic. And I think that that's one thing your son is blessed with now, knowing that his parents have a really good dynamic when it comes to each other and him. So your love is unconditional for your son, and his father is learning him now. And it's a beautiful thing to see. So I want that a great dynamic, and the dynamic probably be different for everybody.
Yeah.
The dynamic is different for everybody, but I would like to have a good dynamic because we made the choice to have these children.
Yes. Yeah, so we in it for life.
We
So
in
we
it,
need to make it as best and pleasant as possible.
And I try to do that. I try to be, and I intentionally, God worked with me on that, being intentional about trying to, and I don't always get it right, but my main thing is my children and them being feeling free. And I don't want to use the word happy, but feeling free without the heaviness that I felt in relationship, because I feel like you can feel a heaviness when when you're missing a parent, or when your parents don't get along.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, me being a product of divorce, I remember before my parents got to where they were and I don't even remember when the switch came, when it was just like they were just back and were together but separate, so to speak. Because I remember it would be like holidays, like, okay, we're going over here, and it'll be like, well, how long you gonna be with your daddy? And it's just like, oh, where you going over here? My dad never said that, but my mom most definitely was like that. And I mean, moms, we are a little bit more emotional, and my dad don't care nothing about no holiday, no way. So it's whatever. But I remember those, and it just being uncomfortable, and me like literally praying, like, I just want us to get to a point to where we can just all come together, and I don't have to worry about, well, I spent 45 minutes over here, got to spend 30 minutes over there, because really I just wanted to be at home and not spend time with nobody. Because that's how I've been for forever.
That's what I was about to say. You'd have been like
I've never wanted to do any of this.
You never wanted to go anywhere on a holiday. That's really funny. That's funny.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember that though, when we first got divorced or separated, it was like, oh, got split our days and all that. Now this past Christmas was the first time I was like, y'all gone by. I'm good. And I feel like that, like, period now. Like, that if that's the thing that he and his family still do, you all go enjoy it. Because,
let me ask you this. Do you feel like aside from not disclosing like what happened between you, but just being divorced both times, like looking back and how you say looking over your life and everything, do you feel like your happiness is the most important thing to you? Do you when I say that, I feel like, do you feel like when you're happier that it just sets the tone for your kids and everything else? Like, do you like this version of you better? Would you, knowing that now, like how you say looking back, you feel like that was never supposed to be your spouse. So knowing that, are you okay with the transition where you are now? Do you feel like happier as a person?
I absolutely feel happier as a person. And now I can say that because before, I'll say when I thought I was happy, in my people pleaser years, I didn't realize what happiness really was. So now, my main thing in being happy is my peace. Like, I'm so peaceful now. I don't. You can be peaceful when when you're happy. Um, if you're a person that, if I was a person, because we talking about me, that was still going off or getting mad or doing this, you know, you could be happy. If you're happy within yourself, you don't have to do that.
On the road. I felt it. I was like, it's going down the wrong way. Wrong pipe.
Yeah. I never also thought that I would be happy by myself. And now, being by myself, alone but not lonely, it feels amazing because I never thought that this would feel like this. And I genuinely like enjoy my own company.
So do you think that that's better too for your
For my children,
children?
absolutely. I think that my children are thriving. Um, a part of them thriving. I say a part of them, not completely thriving. A part of them are thriving because of my happiness. They see that I'm good, I'm okay, I can make things happen. Um, that is peace in the home. They're thriving. Part of them thriving is because of that. I recently had someone say to me, I think it was last week, um, they seen my son amongst some friends, and I won't give like the whole thing. And she said, "You are really raising him because all the friends were doing something, and he was the only one that was like, I'm good." And she was like, "Keep on." And I was like, I knew, but I didn't know that about him because you never know.
Yeah,
you never know. You know what I'm saying? You never know. And I said to her, I said, "Thank you for telling me that because I try to stop being a helicopter my asking, did you do this? Did you?" I try not to do that. So for somebody else to witness it and give me that example, I'm thankful for that. And I'm appreciative because I feel like part of that is him knowing our honest talks. Like, dude, I used to do that. I used to eat edibles, everything. Boy, I was like, I'm okay now. I was like, I was looking for something to make me feel better. And what I was looking for, I got it without that. And you don't have to do all that to enjoy yourself, or you don't have to feel pressured or whatever. So I think that part of them thriving is part of seeing me happy. Because when I was like faking my happiness, they struggled more. They did. They struggled more. It was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. I think our kids do better when we're happy. We gonna go through our stuff because it ain't gonna be perfect. We gonna go through our stuff, but overall, if they see you happy and enjoying life or whatever, I think it helps them. My son think I'm his biggest hater though.
Really?
Just like we talked about with our mothers, like you said, your mother will, if she says something, you be like, "Don't say nothing to me." Or my mother, like if he do something, he's a person that's and again, it could be hereditary that appreciate the accolades, a lot of accolades. Like if he put this on good or hung this good, he wants, and I am one to be like, "Yeah, you did do a good job, but next time do do this." Like, well, even in college, just his first year of college, and he's done pretty well without help. And I was like, "You've done well for yourself this first year without help, but imagine if you had went to the writing center more or went to the student center more, and
I
whatever."
did not know you was one of those.
Yeah. And so he'd be like, "You are such a hater." And I'm like, "No, I'm not." That's what he'd tell me. He'd be like, "Okay, bye, bye." And he'll hang up. I'll be like, "You call me back." But I'm going to give you accolades because I'm like, you have done, but I'm also going to let you know how to improve it next time. And he feel like I'm his biggest hater. And I'm like, no,
At least he's taking it that way, because I feel like we talked about this with me being a perfectionist, because I always felt like I was never good enough for my parents. From that perspective on how, like, you're like, oh yeah, that's good, but you could have.
Yeah.
So I'm always striving
for the could have.
Yes.
Did you get accolades on stuff?
I did, but it was never good enough.
So am I doing the same thing they did?
Yeah. But he's handling it different. Like, he pretty much like, look, I did good, I'm happy, and whatever. Whereas I internalized it and felt like I was never good enough.
No, he definitely not thinking that, because he'd be like, I did good enough and I'm happy with it. And I'll be like, okay, we let it go.
Like, I'm still now, I don't think I have since I entered in the 49th, however it go. But I know for sure, like last year, I've asked my dad, like, are you proud of me, like where I'm at in my life?
Are you serious?
Yeah, as a grown woman.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
I've never asked my dad if he's proud of me. It's
funny. I would be like, do you think my mama was proud of me before she passed away?
You
like, did I make my mama happy? I've asked my dad that so many times. So many times.
My dynamic with my father is different, and maybe that's why I'm the way I am with my kids, because I don't remember my father ever really saying, I'm proud of you. I took his support as him being proud, if that makes sense. He was never like a vocal, and he's still not like a vocally, I care about you, I love you, I'm proud of you person. But him showing up or, doing things just was like, I think I kind of understood he proud of me. When I got ready to go to school in Toronto, I don't think that they would have let me go if they didn't see this something that you're good at, this something you can be really good at, or whatever. And even now when he called me, he'll say, you at the shop? Like I got a whole shop. I don't have a shop. But he'll say that, so in my mind it's him being proud of that I'm doing what I love or whatever. But he's never.
And that's so interesting, like how we process things, because I remember when I first bought my house, my dad never told me that, like, this is a nice house. He never said anything. And I remember being sad
that he didn't say anything.
I remember calling my mom, like, my dad don't even like my house. He didn't say it was a nice house. And she was just like, Takesha, like, your house is nice. You did good, blah, blah, blah. And I remember, like, so, and I don't know, and to this day, that's a part of me, that little girl in me, that I don't like the wanting to please my parents.
Because you still got that with him.
Yeah, I still have that.
And I don't. My sister had that. Maybe it's the older daughter thing. Yep. I'd never had. Maybe that's why I'm okay with him never saying he proud of me. Because I just be like, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself.
Yeah. And I guess that's the good way to be, because I feel like I've never measured myself on my own scale. It's always against something else. I've never measured myself on my own scale, like me, Takesha, like, you know what? That's good. You did good.
Yeah,
that's enough. It's always more or not enough.
See, you were trying to please your parents. I wasn't trying to please my parents. I was trying to please other people. So I wanted other people who were friends or boyfriend or whatever to give me the accolades. I never was looking for it from my parents. I feel like I already knew what they thought about me. At every season of my life, I feel like I knew when they were disappointed. I feel like I knew when they were proud. I feel like I knew already. And plus, you know, we was the church girls, so it's like we really ain't do nothing outside of that.
I still, to this day, I'll probably leave this earth not knowing how my parents feel or felt about me. I know that
Really?
I was a disappointment when I got pregnant. That's the only thing that I know. I don't know if I have ever done anything for them to be proud of. Like when I think about my son, I'm just proud that he just is alive and breathing. Okay?
Yeah.
Like that's how my love is. Like
Yeah,
you ain't
yeah.
even gotta do nothing. Just come in here and say hey to your mama, and I'm going to hold you like you that little
Yeah.
baby I just birthed.
That's that love. That goes back to that love when you said I want a baby. You still have that same love that you desire when you
Yes,
said I want a baby.
yes. I still have that same love.
Yeah, a lot of parents don't keep that same love. I got that same love for mine as well, but it may be a little different because I share them more.
And I've never had to
You've never
share
shared
Jordan.
you've never had to
I've
share
never
Jordan.
had to share him with another parent or another child.
You've never had
I've
to share
never
him.
had to share him.
So it's a bit of a difference when you have to share and you've never had to share Jordan.
I've never even
ever.
really had to share him with a girlfriend. Not to be all like for people to turn this into something, you know what I'm saying, creepy. But
I mean, but he always kept a girl.
he always kept a girl, yeah. But they was
a girl.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it was never nothing. None of our other relationships ever interfere with ours.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And nothing in my life has ever trumped that relationship with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, I think I might have told you this before, I remember dating a guy, may he rest in peace. Like, well, when you get married, like your husband gonna have to be more important than your son. I remember him saying that to me, and I'm like, now I look at it like he for sure wasn't the one. Because then I was
he trying to talk about himself?
Because I'm just like, oh, absolutely, like no, it don't work.
Do you know how good you gotta be? Do you know how good you gotta be for me to trump you over my kids? And not saying it's impossible because the husband's supposed to come first, but you gonna have to be honoring.
I done did this all out of order, so that part might be out of order too.
Yeah, I get it.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because you wasn't ahead, and then we had the kid, and you come first. So I don't know. And quite honestly, for my spouse, I ain't mad at you on how you are with your kids because I know how I love mine.
Yeah. That's
because some people don't understand that, and he didn't have any kids.
Okay.
So I knew that would be something that he wouldn't be able to understand because there's people with kids that don't understand my love for mine.
You remember when I was dating that guy that didn't have no kids, and he was always trying to tell me how to do with mine, and I was like, sir, you ain't gonna ever be able to tell me how to do this or what to do with mine or how to love mine or what I should or shouldn't be doing. He felt like I was too much of a friend to them. It works, but we got work. And so I had to, he gave me an easy out because I was like, sir, bye. But yeah, that love, do you tell your son, like you wanting, you desire to hear I'm proud from your parents? Have you told him over the years how when you're proud of him?
Yeah, I tell him I'm his biggest fan all the time.
Okay.
All the time. I hug him still. I say I love you 100,000 times a day. I tell him I'm his biggest fan. And I tell him, like, no matter what you do, you need to know that I'm your biggest fan.
Yeah. That's good. Do you think he feel like it's overload?
Of course. Yeah, of course.
But again, It's just,
But I'm pretty sure it comes from an overload place because I wanted that and I didn't get it.
yeah.
So, sometimes, well, I shouldn't say sometimes, 100% of the times how we are raised, it just affects us all, you know what I'm saying, different kind of ways. So I vomited that to him because I didn't get that. My mom, I don't ever remember us like not getting off the phone with I love you too. But I think I always wanted more of that from my dad. Like I felt like I never did get that.
Yeah. I think that when I became free and authentically who I am is when I realized what I missed from my dad.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel like I was missing anything before because I was always trying to search for the other people. So now is the time where I'll be like, oh, I wish my dad had, but because we are where we are now, my dad's 87 and I don't expect him to. I mean, he's still a great father. Don't get me wrong. The man called me almost every other day, like, hey, you at the shop? So our relationship is very close, but I now know, oh, that's why I was searching for those things in other people because my dad was more quiet when it came to showing emotional affection or giving
Excuse
accolades.
me.
So yeah,
And that's what I say about that time. Like that's the time like you can't get back. You can't redo,
You can't.
And not that you're suffering and struggling through life, you're doing very well, but it's just that it's that time. And I know that there are certain things that I know for sure is a factor in my son's life because of what he didn't have growing up. So that's why we have to be mindful of the choices that we make every day. And when we stay in these relationships, marriages, whatever, when we're not being our best self, how it's not only affecting us, but how it's affecting our children.
When you stay in something that is not helping you be your best self, when you stay in a friendship, relationship, whatever ship that's not helping you grow and go to another level that's better or higher in your life, then you do such a disservice to yourself. And we see it all the time with we've seen it with ourselves, we see it with other people. Now it's easier for us to see with other people like, wow, I wish they could see how much better they would be if they just,
And the road is not an easy road, but once you get on it and start the path, I think it opens up and it becomes easier. It's just taking that step sometimes because it's the fear, doing something different. And I remember when my parents got divorced, like there were so many things that my mother had never done before.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't writing on no checks, paying no bills. Like,
yeah.
So I know that her taking that step
was a big step.
But
she was enjoying it. And then don't you think she was happy?
I definitely think that she was happy. I think once she got older and slowed down, I think she might have wanted to go back to that life. But I know that my mom was young, and my dad was older and more settled and just had the differences in hobbies and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like back then, it was like, oh, let's go to the movies versus no, we'll just wait until it come out and rent it, where she just wanted to be courted.
I think that when thinking that you love somebody and doing something based on what you think they want you to do, or you don't want to be embarrassed by the public. I was big on that. You don't want, to be embarrassed by, what people think or thinking you stupid because they think you stupid anyway.
Yeah, that was one thing that I learned early was just like,
Yeah.
and I think that that's why my struggle with my people pleasing has always been family oriented versus the outsiders, because it was just like, y'all gonna talk about me
Anyway,
either way it go.
yeah.
Left or right, y'all gonna talk about me. But for whatever it is, me with that family thing, that part stung.
No, and see, mine was what other people thought. I didn't want to be embarrassed by what other people thought. So I was good at being, hiding what I really felt or what was best or doing what was best for me. It's like literally God literally had to pull me out of situations. When I think about it now, like he literally pulled me out of every situation that was not good for me. Like, girl, how long are you gonna do this? Friendships too. You literally snatch me like cold turkey, people that I just don't talk to. Well, we may still be friends on Facebook or something, but like hanging out, like this is not serving you. This is not making you a better who you supposed to be. So,
and I believe sometimes that certain blockages come from our choices.
Absolutely.
Where it's just like, you need to get up and walk away. That life that you want to live is out there.
Yeah.
But because you're not moving, it's just gonna stay out there.
It's gonna stay there. It's gonna stay there. And
but once you move, it can be, you can reach it. It's so many things that I just did not think that I would be able to survive, that I've survived. And I mean, I've made some, we've all made choices, bad choices, good choices, but now I try to be a lot more mindful of the choices that I make, in long term versus just right now after, you know what I'm saying, the 7 deadly sins. Like I'm lusting after something, so I'm going after it. I try to think it out.
Girl,
we're coming on the close. We didn't came on the close, honestly.
I felt like you was about to say that. I felt like you was about to say that, but somebody needed to hear this today.
Yes, like I commend all the women out there that's doing too much. I want the women out there that's doing too much to take a page from my book and chill. It is okay. Them dishes can wait. Keep the bathroom clean. That's all I got to say.
Your bathroom will stay clean. That's the one thing you do. You clean it every day, I think, right?
Yes.
Your bathroom stay clean. Listen, it's okay to rest. And it's okay to make a decision to do what best serves you, men and women. But because we women, we can relate to the women. If something not serving you, it's okay to start over and not be scared. It's one thing I know now, Takesha, and everything I've been through in my life, that I'm okay starting over. Like, no matter what it is, whether it's new job, new business, relationship, I'm okay. I'll start over because it got to be something better. So, you got to be okay with it. So I enjoyed our girl chat.
Me too.
Thank you, friend.
You're welcome. I'm going to take a nap now.
You're about to go sleep. We want y'all to like, listen, subscribe, share. Tell us in the comments what you think. Are you doing what serves you? Are you resting? Are you making choices that best fit you, or are you gonna live 50 years unhappy?
I'm not, because as soon as that man come, I'm quitting that job.
We see y'all next week.